Hello there guys, Elita Legionarii here, and today I'll be bringing you a 1v1 battle against the SwedishLandsknekt for the Britannia expansion, or for the kingdoms, for Medieval 2 Total War Kingdoms. We're playing as Ireland. Now don't worry, I won't stay in these woods. I'm going to deploy up here where we can see things in the open, and he'll be playing as the Barons Alliance. So we'll have a look at my army. I have, I believe it was, one unit of Cleartharii, which is a spear militia basically, and then behind them I have 3 units of cavalier men. These are basically like musketeers pretty much, which is quite cool, but the problem is this is not really a great map for them. It's pretty kind of uneven, and so I took a gamble because I wasn't familiar with the map, because we don't get to play Britannia that much. Actually, this is a pretty quick battle by the look of that timer there. You probably won't be able to see it because the screen settings don't always catch the very top left there, but it's a pretty short timer. So the rest of my army is, I think it was either 4 Gaelic Lice and 2 Ulster swordsmen, I believe it was. They're 2 handy units. 2 handy units are way more effective and way more powerful than they used to be on the standard game. So I use them quite a lot on the Kingdoms one because it's kind of fun to use them as a main line for a change. I have 2 units of these now. The only way I think you pronounce them is like Mirai, I don't know, something like that. They're like a half strength, half number unit of kind of like armoured swordsmen, dismounted feudal knights, that kind of thing, but they have 2 hit points, so they're very, very strong. They last a very long time in melee, so they're a very effective unit, but they're only half strength, so they're kind of like a slightly stronger unit version of the Hashashim and basically Battlefield Assassins. Now I've got 4 units of Lord's Retinue and a General's Bodyguard, and hidden in the woods here I have 1 unit of mounted cavalier men, so they're just like the cavalier men, but they're only on a horse, so that's kind of cool. The SwedishLandsknekt army, he has, let's see, I see 2 demi lancers and a feudal knight there. Then he has some levy spearmen meat shielding. Then he has heavy bill militia, 4, again being 2 handy units, they're more effective here. Then he has, I believe it was 6 units of dismounted 4 units of dismounted feudal knights, 2 units of armoured swordsmen, and 2 English knights. And his cavalry consisted of, on this side, it consisted of his General's Bodyguard and 2 more demi lancers. They do a surprisingly good job actually, because my Lord's Retinue are a better cav unit, but it's got my General Bodyguard up against his over here, and he's charging me here. He did charge his guys in here. I'm going to have to work faster to try and catch these guys. Now I do manage to get my General's guys in here and rout his dudes before he can get this in, so I charge my guys in to stop his cavalry here. Then I'm going to follow through with my own Ulster Swordsman, Mirai, and the Gaelic Lice. The cavalry fight does still go my way because the Lord's Retinue is quite a good piece of cavalry. Ireland's actually very, very good. It's probably, I'd still say Norway was the best, but Ireland is very close. Now the thing I don't like about England, the Barons Alliance, and Scotland is they've really got like no new units. Like the Barons Alliance is a new faction, but it's completely identical to the English roster. And Scotland is the same, so is playing England. So so basically his feudal knights are they're holding on, but my 2 handy units are actually defeating him here. Nothing too elaborate. He tried out. There's not really any flanking here, and we're trying to win our cav fight around here and quickly get around it. But I got a downhill charge of 2 handy units, and they're a lot more effective now. So I'm able to fight very well. I would never do this in the base game. What I also did was moved my gunmen out to the flank and started shooting onto any flanking units. Now they don't get many kills, but they should do some morale damage. He actually does manage to win this cavalry fight when he gets his levy spears into his system. And his General's Bodyguard defeated my General. So, however, I do have a unit of Lord's Retinue that came back from routing, I think. And I'm going to use my own gun cav here to cause some disruption. So I'm just going to try and stop him from getting his cav into my flanks. The infantry fight's still going on. Some of our cavalry up here is fairly bogged down, so neither of us are really going to get it out for anytime soon. However, I am attempting to do so here, and I do manage to get 6 cav out. However, as you can see, all these guys effectively chain route. Probably the Bill Militia going there because they're decent, but they're not as good as mine. And as you can see, I do cause a pretty big chain route up on the top left here. And what I'm going to do is just use I'm going to put my mounted cavalrymen, sit them behind the flank and shoot them in the back with my gun cav. As you can see, these two-handers are a lot more effective. Now the glitch, if you look closely, still actually happens, but because they've got so much higher defense, and it doesn't happen quite as frequently, I don't think. So that basically is the reason why the two-hander units don't glitch so badly and are a lot more effective, which is really good because you couldn't use them in the way I'm using them now in the base game. Well, not very often. You had to get pretty lucky. Just trying to get you some nice close-ups here. So as you can see, gun cav's in behind his line here, shooting him in the back. Now he does break my units over here. I believe that was an Ulster swordsman. But as you can see, these guys are packing some nice shots into his flank. However, I don't think they get too many kills, to be honest. That might be his general actually, or one of his general's bodyguard. But you never get many kills with him. It's going to do some bad things to his morale. As you can see, a lot of his men are shaken and all that. Whereas my guys are, well, some of them are still shaken. But quite a significant number of them are eager, while most of his are wavering. As you can see, his men just chain routed all there. So it's probably a large part due to my cavalier men. That cavalry fight was looking to go his way, but it was pretty indecisive, to be honest. So and a couple of my cav managed to slip through and survive and get a couple of hammer and anvils, and that also sped up the route. But I had slightly better terrain, admittedly, but I mean, we chanced the map. I don't know the maps on this game. I do know, however, a lot of them are forested, so it's always hard to know. And I don't particularly like forested maps on Medieval 2, simply because the trees are so thick and dense in Medieval 2. It's very hard to see what you're doing. It was easier in Rome Total War to work in wooded maps. But there you go. Ireland and the Barons Alliance. I got 681 kills, 137 captures. Swedes had 427 kills and 12 captures. So we've looked at the stats here. As you can see, there's Lord's retinue, fairly good, but his there he is there. He always makes a show in the videos. What will you have to say for your loss? What will you tell the Barons Alliance Swedes for your failure? No, just kidding. It was a good game. He did very well in that cav fight, because Lord's retinue, pretty good cav unit, slightly better than the demi-lancers. And these mounted cavalier men didn't get a lot of kills, but I'm sure they speed up that routing. I mean, these Gaelic 74, 59 there, almost went to 57. They take some pretty heavy casualties, but they inflicted quite a lot as well. They're very, very usable. You'd never be able to use them like that in the base game. The Ulster swordsman pretty well as well. My cavalier men, as you can see, those three gun units didn't really do anything because they had no good angles, and the fight was very much a rush, so there was no time for them to do anything. And these Murray, as I told you, very, very good. 53, 62, very few losses. And of course that meat shield didn't do much, but those Murray, because of those 2 hit points, are very, very deadly, very effective cavalry. So infantry. So worth getting, but you just have to make sure you don't let them get hit by cav, because they're in a very small amount of numbers, so they're not going to take a charge very well. So anyway, good game to Swedes. Of course, I will link his channel there in the description, guys. If you have never seen it before, I strongly suggest you do. It's a very, very good channel. There's a lot of very good stuff, so worth looking at. So anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Leave comments if you want. I love reading comments. It's always good to read comments. So thanks again, guys, and I'll see you soon next time.